Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
Saints in the Dome on Sunday against the Panthers. Saints at 5-7, Panthers at 1-11. Carolina's the worst team in the league. The Saints, by win-loss record, a game behind Atlanta, but we know that because of the tiebreaker, Saints are actually third in the division right now. So while I don't ever like to call something a must-win until it is a literal must-win, like if you don't win, you're out of contention for the playoffs. If you don't win, your season is over. That is a must-win. Without being that, this is as close to that as can possibly be, because if you lose this game and fall to 5-8 and lose another division game, you would have to win out and get to 9-8 and hope that Atlanta and Tampa Bay both finish at 8-9. And Atlanta at 6-6 would have to go 2-3 over their final 5 to fall below 500. So you'd have to win out, and they'd have to go 2-3 in their final 5. I mean, first of all, the Saints, it's impossible for me to imagine them winning out. They just haven't shown the consistency all year to do that. That's how you become a 500 team. It's the one step forward, two step back, two step forward, one step back. You never string together wins. This is how the Saints season has gone. Win, win, loss, loss, win, loss, loss, win, win, loss, loss, loss. That's the nature of a bad team. So now you've lost 3 in a row, and really the loss in Atlanta is unforgivable, considering the way you dominated the yardstick and threw up on yourself in the red zone repeatedly. The loss in Minnesota was one that was entirely gettable. And then you completely laid down with your season on the line against Detroit. Now, last Friday, I picked the Lions because I went through the game and said there's not a single matchup on the field where I like the Saints. The Lions' offense is great. The Saints' defense isn't playing good. The Saints' offense isn't very good. The Lions' defense isn't very good. So how do you match that? The home field advantage for the Saints, what used to be this vaunted dome field advantage, is gone, as the Saints are a sub-500 team at home. They're 2-3 at home right now this season. There's nothing on the field where you look and say, check mark Saints. And so it was impossible to pick New Orleans a week ago. On the flip side, Carolina is the worst team in the NFL. There's not a thing that you would look at and say, yep, Carolina has the edge there. This is a bad football team. They're 30th in the NFL in passing yards. They're 26th in the NFL in rushing yards. They're 29th in scoring at under 16 a game. They're 31st in scoring defense, second to last in the NFL in scoring defense. The problem with Carolina, though, or maybe the problem for New Orleans, is Carolina's blowout losses have come at the hands of good teams. Carolina went to Detroit and lost 42-24. Carolina went to Miami and lost 42-21. Carolina played Dallas and lost 33-10. That's been their lopsided losses, have been against the really good teams they play this year. The Saints aren't a good team. And when you look at how this plays out, I mean, look, they even played in Carolina in week 2. It was a 20-17 game on Monday Night Football. They have played close games against bad teams on their schedule. The Bears, they went on the road to Chicago and lost 16-13 with Tyson Bagent at quarterback. I mean, that's evidence of what Carolina is. They've gotten bullied by the good teams, and they played close games and lost to the bad teams. So the Saints are certainly not a good team, but even a week ago against Tampa, they lost 21-18. I think it's why when you look at this game, and although it's in New Orleans, the line is 6. There's not a spot on the field where you would favor Carolina, and if you're giving the Saints 3 points for home field, they're basically telling you, neutral field, this is a field goal game, which is what it feels like. This feels like it's going to be a close game because the Saints have struggled to stop anybody, and similarly, the Saints have struggled to finish drives. And Carolina's defense is not very good, and I know the injury report is kind of what it is. Derek Carr is expected to start. Pete Werner, Cam Jordan, Blake Grupe, all questionable for this game. Hayden Hurst and Deshaun Williams are out for Carolina. Other than that, they've gotten a little healthier. I just don't know that I look at this game and have a tremendous amount of confidence in New Orleans to control it for 4 quarters. So I think this is going to be a really close, low-scoring football game. If you were going to give me Carolina in 6, I would take it. The total in this game is 38.5. They're basically telling you both these offenses stink. Even though the defenses stink, the offenses stink more. You're going to look at a game in the upper teens, low 20s. I will reluctantly, with very little confidence at all, pick New Orleans to win this game 21-17, but it would not surprise me one iota if Carolina comes and punks New Orleans, gets their second win of the season, and ends the Saints season. If New Orleans loses this game, that has got to be it for Dennis Allen. They just cannot justify keeping him any longer than that.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.